Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Crypto News Show. Today is Monday, September 14th, 2020, and we have a few news to cover. First, how Bitcoin correlation drives the narrative and how sometimes it just don't make sense. People need a reason to understand price movements, but sometimes there's just no reason. It's just demand and supply, I guess. Binance CEO wants more Ethereum-based DeFi project to join his platform. Obviously, as he announced already, I think it was $100 million to help the DeFi projects to move to the Binance chain. Third incident, it's BZX. So there has been an exploit of a bug and some money was lost. So we'll go forward and deeper in this. Elastic Finance makes its case in the DeFi discussion, mostly Ampleforce with the Ample token, which is quite interesting if we think about it as a collateral or a new kind of asset type. I really like it. And finally, we'll go with NFT economy grows exponential. So NFT non-fungible tokens have been there for a while, but they're gaining a lot of momentum recently. So as you can see, I was on the Sun token. I just tried out earlier to put some TRX and to see how much this token were worth. I have to say I'm quite impressed. They're still gaining value and close to $27, but the only bad thing I will say is that the TRX are still locked until at least I think it's September 17th, but I'll have to check it out. So today, crypto market cap is at $348 billion. Bitcoin almost at 10.5K, and one of the biggest gainer of the day with 0.3%. Ethereum kind of lost a bit at 369, and Chainlink actually has been really weak recently, under $12. I don't really like Chainlink if I'm being honest. So big piece on CoinDesk, very big piece, very interesting piece on the correlation. So all starts with a tweet from Tracy Alloway that just basically put the chart of avocado price and Bitcoin over the past since January 2020, and you can see some kind of really high correlation actually. So this is something just to remind people, correlation is not causation. Like I still remember the perfect correlation between the number of people dying in the swimming pool, drowning in the swimming pool in Italy, and the number of film, I think it was who was it, Johnny Depp, released every year. So this was perfect correlation, but obviously there is no causation. And another one was really high correlation, and a funny one, between the evolution of price of Nutella in Italy and the divorce rate in Italy too. So you see these two elements, even if they correlated from a mathematical point of view, have nothing to do with each other. What's more interesting is that, of course, Bitcoin can have something to do with gold or S&P, but the correlation used to be stronger with gold, then it kind of faded away. Then correlation with S&P was quite high, and recently we've seen actually correlation between Bitcoin and gold have been higher than with the S&P. It makes sense because gold stayed a bit under $2,000, and Bitcoin kind of traded sideways over the past months. But what's also fun is the correlation with the Tesla stock is actually higher than with the S&P. This could also have a reason, who knows? Maybe this is because of FOMO. People are FOMOing and investing in tech stock to get rich, like in Tesla, and it's a lot of retail investor, and it might be something for Bitcoin. Then it goes on with the article. You should really write it. They also show the performance of different asset class since year to date. It's interesting to see that Bitcoin is the best one with more than 44% performance. Then we have gold with 27%, then long bonds and Nasdaq. And then list, we have FTSE, so UK index. Volatility in Bitcoin, it's been lower, the volatility, and the price of Bitcoin also. It seems that when volatility goes up, it's actually good for Bitcoin price. And this is interesting. So a lot of traders are covering and buying a lot of Ethereum puts meaning that they will cover their position, or maybe they are also betting on a drop in price of Ether, way more than they are in Bitcoin. Bitcoin puts are at normal level, and the put to call being the opposite, you bet that the price will go up on parity, whereas on Ethereum, like recently, there has been a lot of put bought compared to calls. Binance wants more Ethereum-based project to join, so basically it's easy asking Ethereum projects that are tired of gas fee to move to his chain. Is saying it's not really a different chain, as you can trade it with MetaMask, and that it's just facilitating, and he wanna works with Ethereum community and so on. But basically, of course, is looking to have some of these juicy fruits or other DeFi projects to come to his Binance chain. Of course, he's thinking, what if actually this is the future and central exchange do not exist in the future? I would be really happy to have some kind of Binance Smart Chain to generate revenue. They're also talking about the Burger token, which I will not go forward with. Please do not invest if you do not understand what it is. Binance launched Ethereum, this is something blockchain. So it's actually Binance chain is totally usable by Ethereum users, and they were saying that a few projects have already announced they will launch some kind of project on the DeFi Binance chain. So like Aave, 1inch, and GeForce. Third incident, it's BZX. So this is not a protocol I'm really familiar with, but apparently a user managed to fake his balance for a few $1,000,000, which is kind of annoying. The protocol was actually audited by PeckShield and Certic, but as they were saying, it can still happen even if the protocol has been audited by professionals. So you have the entire post on the BZX.network blog, where you can see they are saying that they have a fund, they show the error in the code, they changed it. Some users also think that they were able to mitigate what happened by taking back some of the fund, or at least putting the balance of this hacker or I don't know, kind of ingenious guy to zero. So some of them are also calling that there might be a backdoor available for admin at BZX in the protocol, which some users are not happy with. Elastic Finance getting some momentum. So Ample token has been moving a lot recently. It's this token that basically is supposed to always come back to one. So it's still like in the process of learning how to adjust the algorithm, but this is indeed something interesting, because if you think about it, collateral if it's totally working, if it's entirely working, Ample as a collateral totally makes sense. It means if it goes down, you'll just have more tokens, which will equal to the same dollar amount. If it goes up, you'll have less token, which will equal to the same dollar amount. So your collateral is actually kind of safe, and margin calls might be not as if you put this and lend for something else, at least the collateral will not move in terms of dollar value. This was quite interesting in my opinion. And then finally, NFT picking up. NFT have always been there. There is a lot of potential in gaming. Like for example, they were showing this Sorare. So it's a soccer kind of fantasy soccer. I'm playing it, but I never gain new cards, and so I guess you have to invest some money to earn some. So the 7-day volume has been more than $200,000, which is great. You have CryptoPunk, Super Rare, Foam Signal, and all these NFT tokens have also a lot of future in the art business, as you can have digital painting minted in three copies, and that could never be minted for more copies. So, and you have the kind of ID that proves that you are the owner of this NFT, and that you can sell, and so on and so forth. So this has a lot of potential, and maybe it will help also to have some kind of digital art adoption. So this is all for. Oh no, I forgot. Just looking at financial markets, because as we saw, we are kind of correlated with some of it at least. US futures are up, Dow Jones and Nasdaq like something like plus 1%. Europe opened at plus 1%, but it's basically flat right now. This is not really positive, and as you can see on this front page of Bloomberg, COVID is really back. In France, we hit, I think, 10k new cases last Saturday, which was the most ever, actually, even since the beginning of the epidemic back in March and April. Spain is having trouble, UK is having trouble. So these numbers can almost only go up. And when the weather is gonna get a bit colder, this will emphasize and even multiply the number of cases. So this is something to look at, as unfortunately I think this sad story with COVID is not over. So this is all for today. I'll see you tomorrow and have a great day. Be safe. Bye bye.